firstly, I want to thank you with all my heart. Amidst all the noise of horror comedies and people touching the peripheries of horror, you've brought something which people would really want to see, which is horror. And I think Ma, as a trailer, is fantastic.
Thank you.
Of course, the textbook of acting is there. The movie's going to do super well.
Thank you so much.
So, when we talk about Ma, that's the first word as a child children learn.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the overlay text with the whole power sign. If I had to ask you, what is Ma for you? What is the word? How would you define it? What is it for you?
I think you put it really well. It's the first word that most children learn to say, to feel and to think before anything else. The first person that the child turns towards is his mother. So it starts from there, and it just goes more and more and deeper. And for me, Ma means Ma also, and for me it means my mother as well. And for me, both are the same. Mm-hmm. And it was a working title for the film, but by the time we finished the film, we realized that the word itself had so many layers to it that it just could not have more aptly defined our film than just that one word.
True. Also, you've played like intense-led Ma's before, and of course, like the most supportive mother as well, and intense, of course. But Ambika is more led. She is, a mother confronting death, loss, and possibly the unknown. So, did this role particularly, emotionally take more from you than the other roles you've played before?
I think it took a lot from me because of the fact that it's a horror film. Mm-hmm. And it needs, I didn't realize that when I would be doing a horror film, there would be such a pitch to the entire film because I'm not a horror watcher. Yeah. So I didn't realize that there was this certain pitch to every horror film that's there. There's an emotional pitch. And especially when it's like such a tight, there's so much happening that as an actor, you always have to be at a almost like a really high alert level. True. And yes, it was very, very draining as an actor also, very emotionally draining as an actor to constantly keep that pitch 24/7 all the time in every shot.
Also, when we talk about horrors, I think Shaitan was fab, and then we have Ma. But why is Bollywood so scared, or like the industry so scared to touch Bollywood horror as a particular subject? We've not seen a lot of horror films in Hindi cinema. Last we saw were the Bhatts or like the 1920s or the Ramsey brothers. But then this is actual proper for like horror fans.
Absolutely, and that's the reason that we wanted to try something new like this. Also because I think horror takes a lot of A for one VFX. Yeah. Yeah. You need like a really big budget for VFX. You need, this is a horror, but there's a lot of emotion involved in it. There's a lot of emotion involved in it. And that's why I even agreed to do the film. I don't think that, I would have maybe felt the same way for the film if it didn't have so much of emotion and so much of base emotion attached to it. So it's not just a horror film, it is a mythological horror film. Yeah. I would not have agreed to do this film if it did not have such an emotional base to it. It's not just a horror film. And I think as an industry, we are all working towards better scripts. We're all working towards tighter scripts, stronger scripts. We all want to write better scripts, and writing takes time. So I don't think it's not that anybody wanted to touch it so much as we just felt that we had to wait for the right script to come.
One thing what caught my eye was the whole Kali dance that you did and the Kali Ma puja that was happening.
Right.
That's not seen much. Obviously we've seen the dhunuchis and everything, right? And the Kali puja is very deeply spiritual, it's visceral. Are we doing enough to showcase that amazing feminine power on screen?
I hope so. I hope so. When you watch the film, you can tell me what you felt at that particular point. But yeah, I think when we were shooting the song also, it was such a visceral song that I think everybody on set felt it. Everybody, whoever was dancing on set felt it. Everybody who was around, you go into this little days when you're listening to that song. It has this like hypnotic effect to it. So yeah, supremely grateful that I got that chance. And I think one of the most amazing things in the film, which I will say, I think one of the fabulous shots is of when I remove the cloth from the statue of Kalima. I think she was so beautiful. I remember standing on set and, you know, somebody took off the cloth for a shot because she was covered up for the first 4 days. I couldn't see what the statue looked like. So eventually when I saw it, I literally had that, you know, like little awestruck feel to it. And I'm so grateful that, you know, every morning I would come on set and I was so grateful that I was here in front of Ma and I was working in front of her. It was such a unique experience.
Also, you know, I'm a Bengali and I've been subjected to this all the time that, you know, and it's by joke, like friends joke all the time that, oh, Bengali, oh, black magic to aata hi hoga, right? And putle banati hu and things like that. And Bengali people often tend to get stereotyped like that. What do you have to say about that? How do you feel about that? Have you been subject to something like that, as bizarre as that?
Well, I have been subjected to the Bengali madness. ये पागलपन तो बंगाली side से ही आया होगा. So yeah, there is that part of it. But I think that's fun, right? I think most of the times it's just fun to stereotype people and to really it's just for fun that we really talk about it. So I don't know whether I take it that seriously.
All right. Also, you know, there was a time of the suffering mothers and the stoic mothers, and then there's like the strong mothers who've come like you on screen. So how has the mass of Bollywood evolved in your eyes?
The mass of Bollywood, I think, have evolved along with society. I think it's the way we see mothers today. They were always strong for us. We always had things like Mother India going around, etc. We had a Mother India long before, you know, we could even think of a film like Ma. So at that point of time as well. But I think the idea of a fallible mother is finally making its way out. Yes, she is superwoman also, and at the same time, she's soft and she's feminine also. And you know, she can embrace that feminine side of hers as well.
So, but are today's on-screen mothers allowed to be like a little selfish, fierce, flawed? Are they allowed?
I think so. I think so. I think it's also how women view women. Do we forgive each other for being flawed? Do we forgive ourselves for being a little flawed? Or if not flawed, I don't know what flawed means really. What does it mean? That you went to work today, are you flawed because of that? Or you know, you didn't attend your child's school play because you were working. Does that make you flawed? So that's a question that we as women have to ask ourselves, that you know, how do we view ourselves? And I think as we change our viewpoint on ourselves, so will society.
Also, like I said, you are the textbook of acting. You've given such amazing films. And you know, from thrillers to romantic comedies, everything, you've done it all. And we have, like, I think I remember all your films by dialogues, by songs, everything. But that kind of recall value, I think people don't have that anymore. And why is that? Like, so many films are coming in, but yet, like, the kind of films we did back then, we are still not like we don't have those films etched in our mind right now. Why?
I think there are a few films like that. I wouldn't say there aren't any at all. But I think that was the time also when, like, everybody went to the cinemas to see who they had to see. I mean, if you wanted to see a Shah Rukh Khan, you went to the theatre to see him. If you wanted to see an Ajay Devgan, you went to the theatre to see him. There was no other way to see him. There was no social media. There was no, you know, OTT. There was nothing. So if you had to see them, it had to be in a cinema house. And when you have only one way of learning something, then that becomes the strongest learning that you have. When there are like 15 different ways you're shown something, maybe it won't sit as well, or maybe you won't remember it as well.
All right. Also, I think you're the Gen Z mom. You're doing it all. You're amazing on social media as well. But you know, when so much of data is already in you, you're working, you're handling home, you're doing so many things, other things as well. How do you handle like Gen Z stuff?
Like
social media, or like, do you know Gen Z lingo? Do you understand Gen Z lingo?
I don't even try to understand Gen Z lingo. I'm satisfied with just speaking good English, for that matter. Good Hindi, good English, good Marathi, I'm satisfied with that.
But does it confuse you because you're like, you're on the millennial side of us, and then there's
I ask for help. I genuinely ask for help. If I need it, मुझे नहीं समझ में आता तो मैं बोल देती हूँ, मुझे नहीं समझ में आ रहा है, normal language में बोल दो मुझे. तो
I'm almost done with my interview, Kajol. Is there anything else you'd like to say about this film?
I would just like to say that the film is coming out on the 27th of June, or we have worked very, very hard on the film. All of us have worked very, very hard on the film, and I think that अगर डरना है तो आपको सिनेमा में आके ही डरना होगा. तो प्लीज आइए और हमारे साथ डरिए.
I hope there's more to the horror world of MAA.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.